Excellencies, distinguished ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good morning to you all and welcome to Kigali. It is my great honor to welcome you all to the second Rwanda Nordic and Baltic Business Forum. To our Nordic and Baltic partners, ambassadors, executives, and entrepreneurs who have traveled here, your presence is a strong expression of commitment to building a meaningful and lasting relationship between our regions. We value that commitment greatly. Despite the distance, Rwanda and the Nordic and Baltic countries share a remarkable convergence of values, priorities, and ambition. We are united by a belief in good governance, a commitment to innovation, women empowerment and gender equality, conservation, and a clear understanding that sustainable, long-term value creation is the only path to enduring prosperity. That shared perspective is the basis on which credible and lasting commercial partnerships are built. And it is in that spirit that we gather here today. This forum is not simply an occasion for a discussion. It is an opportunity to advance practical cooperation, to identify concrete areas of partnership, and to lay the foundation for investments that will create value on both sides. Most importantly, it strengthens this mechanism that helps translate dialogue into action. We also begin from a position of relative substance. Over the last 2 decades, the Rwanda Development Board has registered in excess of $200 million of investments from Nordic and Baltic companies. It's a meaningful foundation, and it reflects a growing confidence in Rwanda and demonstrates that we have moved past interest. At the same time, it also points to the considerable room that remains for us to deepen and expand the partnership. So where do we go from here? It helps to start with what drives investment, what actually gets the many investors here in the room to move from interest to actually putting resources and making the investment decision. On here, I'd like to focus on 3 issues. Opportunities, actually. 1, market opportunity. Second one, operational efficiency. And the third dimension, predictability. Rwanda makes a strong case on all 3. On market opportunity, and in Rwanda's case, the domestic market is only the entry point. Through the African Continental Free Trade Area and our membership in the East African Community, as well as the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, investors that establish in Rwanda can access a regional market of more than 500 million people, as well as a continental market of more than 1 billion. When you turn to operational efficiency, in the case of Rwanda, we continue to rank among Africa's most competitive business environments. Companies can register here in 6 hours or less, and I challenge you to test it. Just register your company before leaving. 6 hours. Foreigners, yes, including foreigners. I got the question. So 6 hours. And I invite you to put this to the test. That speed is reinforced by active investment facilitation and a policy framework designed to support enterprise at every stage. On this one, I want to explain why operational efficiency matters so much to us. We have made the vision is to position Rwanda as the hub. Africa's hub for the markets I referred to earlier, East Africa, COMESA, and the AFCFTA. But we have structural impediments. Our geography, we're 1,000 kilometers from the sea, a relatively small market. So we've made the conscious decision to make the business environment our unique selling proposition. It's actually where we feel that we can compete in the global marketplace. We want to make it safer to invest in Rwanda. We want to make it faster to invest in Rwanda. We want to make it more predictable. We want to make it the place where there's zero tolerance for corruption. And in turn, let that message echo, and investors then would make the decision to come and set up shop here because of all that I've mentioned. It's also the reason why we've brought together under one roof within the Rwanda Development Board in the One Stop Center 24 agencies. We've mapped the galaxy and the universe of services provided to investors, their journey. We noticed that in multiple instances, investors have to go to multiple places. So we've grouped those services within the One Stop Center, and today within that center we provide in excess of 400 services. Thank you. We brought those services together, and the next challenge in our evolution is to digitize them fully, to remove any existing fragmentation that might exist when you go through a process of bringing together so many different functions, to basically create an environment where an investor steps in the one-stop center and never has to go anywhere else. It's still a journey we're on, but the vision is very clear. We have the same focus on predictability, and it shapes the drive and our consistent efforts in constantly mapping the challenges investors go through and the reforms that are required. And we've made substantial progress in digitizing many of our public services to reduce friction across the investment journey, to reduce the administrative requirements, duplication, and so on. Much remains to be done, as I stated earlier, but the results are already showing progress, and I think it was referred to earlier in regard to our performance in the Be Ready Index, and so on. Now, these efforts are designed to create a conducive environment for investors who bring not only capital, but also the know-how, technology, and experience needed to create lasting value. The Nordic and Baltic regions are very well known for their strength in innovation, digital advancement, sustainability, industrial capabilities, and solutions that are both practical and future-oriented. It's against this background that I would like to highlight a few sectors where I think there are opportunities for us to deepen cooperation. The first one is technology, digitization and technology. Rwanda is among Africa's most forward-looking digital economies. Demand continues to grow in areas such as fintech, digital public infrastructure, cybersecurity, data centers, artificial intelligence application, and software developments. For companies seeking a regional base from which to deploy scalable digital solutions, Rwanda offers you the right environment. In agriculture remains central to our economy, and modernizing the sector is a national priority. Significant opportunities exist in irrigation, cold chain logistics, agro-processing, seed systems, traceability technologies, and climate-smart farming solutions. The strength of the Nordic and Baltic regions in innovation and sustainability again align naturally with our focus on agriculture. And then on manufacturing and pharmaceuticals. Rwanda is also advancing a competitive and export-oriented industrial base. There is clear potential in pharmaceutical production, medical products, construction materials, and value-added agro-processing to support our growing industrial parks. Let me highlight the progress on pharmaceuticals. Rwanda's FDA, the Food and Drugs Authority, has already achieved WHO's maturity level 3, and it's an internationally recognized indicator of regulatory credibility. And Kigali is already home to companies such as BioNTech, who is working on the first commercial scale mRNA vaccine manufacturing initiative on the African continent. These are not future aspirations, they're happening right now as we're speaking. And there are concrete platforms which are already taking shape. Baltic and Nordic firms in pharmaceuticals and health industries, you have the basis from where to grow interest in developing such products in Rwanda and the region. On green growth and climate solutions, green growth is another area where we have strong alignment, conservation as well. Renewable energy, resource efficiency, sustainable urban development, and circular economy are national priorities for Rwanda. There are also areas in which the Nordic and Baltic regions have world-class expertise. Taken together, these sectors point to a broader reality. The strongest partnerships are those that combine commercial opportunity with long-term strategic value. The economies that will lead in the decades ahead will be those that pair competitiveness with sustainability, innovation with resilience, and investment with real impact. We believe Rwanda is on that path, and we are equally convinced that our Nordic and Baltic partners are ideal partners for the journey ahead. The quality of the discussions over the next 3 days will help us continue to shape this journey. Let us therefore use the forum to turn the goodwill into action and action into partnerships that create jobs, deepen value chains, and deliver lasting value for our people and our economies. On behalf of the government of Rwanda, I want to reaffirm our strong commitment to deepening cooperation with the Nordic and Baltic region and our readiness to work with you to turn shared ambition into concrete results. I wish you productive discussion and a successful forum. Thank you very much.